The following is a presentation of Lions Heart Media. Any use, rebroadcast, or redistribution of this broadcast without the express written consent of Lions Heart Media is strictly prohibited. White looks to throw. He wants Boyd deep. Help over the top. Boyd adjusts. 1,000 and a score. Wilson drives in. She scores. Jensen, Grayson, give and go. Jensen elevates and she slams it down again. Arlo, top of the box, a drive, and he fires it in. This Cannon hammers the back line. Striplings fires it up. Spencer in space. Just got it. Touchdown, Sarah Catholic. Blocks quick out to Martin. Breaks the tackle. Martin cuts far side. There goes Quinton. See you later. One play. Touchdown, Leopards. Quinton Martin for 6 from 36. One final game here in the regular season in the Steel City Summer Basketball League. Playoffs are set. It's tune-up time on both sides here between the number 1 seed, the 4-time league champions, AMD Industries, taking on the team that will go in at worst in a tie for seed number 4. That's Cedarbrook Golf Course coming in 3-6. Alex Lyons with you for the final game of the regular season here on MVI Live. We will have the entirety of the playoffs next week here on MVI Live. Just night number 2 of our coverage of the Steel City Summer Basketball League. Once finishing up the district and state lacrosse and baseball softball playoffs as 8-1 versus 3-6 on the season, but it is a very good 3-6 squad that most likely this could be a rematch of the semifinals a week from today. If Cedarbrook wins even if AMD wins, kind of no matter what, if Cedarbrook beats MoFlo next week, they would shuffle into that game versus AMD, as long as Howard Hanna would beat Trailside in the other quarterfinal pigtail game on Tuesday. So we will have all 6 teams making the playoffs this year instead of just the top 4. So that means it will be pigtail games on Tuesday. Howard Hanna will take on Trailside, 6-4 versus 1-9. Howard Hanna, a forfeit loss today to Monessen Flores, who finishes the regular season at 3-7. Cedarbrook will take on Monessen on Tuesday as well for spots in the semifinals. And as long as Howard Hanna wins, they will get B graphics. That means AMD would get the winner of Cedarbrook and Monessen. B graphics, a dominating victory over Trailside earlier today. So Cedarbrook looking to possibly upset the 1 seed going into the playoffs. Again, AMD holds the tiebreakers with B graphics. Even with the loss, they will have the 1 seed no matter what. And again, this is most likely a preview of what will be one of the 2 semifinals, kind of if I'm a betting man, even though I haven't been here for the entire season like normal, just, kind of the way the cookies crumbled this year, I would almost expect to see a Howard Hanna B graphics AMD Cedarbrook semifinal Thursday, a week from today. Obviously, you can't count out any team. Plenty of talent here in the Steel City Summer Basketball League, and, all eyes thinking maybe on the B graphics AMD rematch once again. We've seen that championship game time in and time again. Last game, AMD led by a 23-point performance, 7-3 performance by Juliana Giannikis, the rising freshman at Norwin. On the other side is Cedarbrook, coming off a loss in their last game to Howard Hanna Marie Slagus, but plenty of talent here tonight for this Cedarbrook squad. You obviously look at Torrie DeStefano, 4th in the league in scorer, Bella Dumbroski 2nd in the league in scoring, and a team just 3 wins on the season. DeStefano's only played in 4 games this year. Dumbroski only 5 of the team's 9 so far. So you kind of look at that and say, hey, come playoff time, you get these 2 teams, these two players cooking in the right direction. That's not an easy duo to stop here for Cedarbrook, who is averaging 62.3 points per game, giving up 71.4. On the other side, AMD Industries 75.1, 80-point games 5 times this season and giving up 52.3. They almost blew a massive 24-point lead in their last game, as they went 10 minutes and 34 seconds without a bucket, gave up 25 unanswered, surrendered their 24-point lead, but ended up coming back to knock off B Graphics in what was a thrilling back-and-forth game. As we will take a break, come back, starting lineups, opening tip here between AMD and Cedarbrook on your home for Mon Valley Athletics, MVI Live, as the push to the playoffs nears an end, as postseason play will start on Tuesday right here in the Steel City Summer Basketball League.
There's no better way to start your morning than with a fresh cup of coffee, and why not start with the best? 3-time Mon Valley favorite winner, His Place Coffee, Community and More, located at 103rd Street in Monessen. Open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have something for everyone. From our fresh brewed coffee, refreshing cold brews, house-made lattes, fraps, and so much more. If you can't decide 4 days of the week, I'll personally be there to help you craft the perfect drink for your needs. We're also serving up house-made breakfast and lunch paninis, homemade baked goods with gluten and dairy-free options available. We are so much more than just a coffee shop, offering community outreach, including Kids Craft Day and Story Time. There's always something new brewing, and we can't wait to see you at His Place Coffee, Community and More.
Final game of the regular season, AMD in Cedarbrook. A possible semifinal preview a week from today, barring the cards and the dominoes falling correctly. Raya Johnson, Torrie DeStefano, Kaelynn Settles, along with Bella Dumbroski and McKenna Bittner in the start for Cedarbrook. It's Layla Marchinsky, DaShae Cochran, along with Makayla Canty, Kaelynn Settles, and Emily Eisenberg on the other side. As up top, Dumbroski pulls for 3 off the iron and out. Rebound, grab down underneath in transition. It's Marchinsky, as Marchinsky off to Eisenberg. Corner, 3-ball up, iron and out by Kaelynn Settles. Board there by Makayla Canty. Outside shot, no good. Short on the shot for Marchinsky, and back the other way we go. 15:30 remaining in the opening quarter of play. As in command now, it's Torrie DeStefano, the rising senior at Penn Trafford. 19.75 points per game for DeStefano. Kick out, Dumbroski tries again. Iron and out. Rebound, grabbed down by Canty, her second. Canty and Settles both missed the last game for AMD, as underneath DaShae Cochran, too far underneath, but fouled in the process by McKenna Bittner. 5'8" junior Bittner. As to the line, shooting to DaShae Cochran. 11.43 points per game. Cochran knocks down the first. DaShae struggled from the line in the last game for AMD. Takes an early 1-0 advantage. Again, AMD, massive lead against B Graphics, as iron and out. Rebound grabbed down by DeStefano, but it was a 25 unanswered run by B Graphics, as almost a turnover, kept in the front court by Kaelynn Settles, right wing, guarded tightly Marchinsky. Off the hop, knocked out of bounds by the active hands of DaShae Cochran. 1-0 AMD leads, just over a minute elapsed here. Inbound, Bella Dumbroski. Dumbroski, star-studded freshman season at Sarah Catholic. You know, picking up where older brother Owen left off, who just graduated from Sarah Catholic. He leaves as the all-time leading scorer, as Eisenberg online from long range. And it's quickly a 4-0 advantage for AMD Industries. Left side, Settles driving, stripped away, loose on the deck, still loose, and eventually dual possession going to be called with a 4-0 advantage for AMD. Here in the opening minute and a half, possession will head back down with the blue and black of AMD. 4-0 advantage, 1-3 ball by Eisenberg. This is a team that is absolutely hit from long range this season. Marchinsky, the hesitation, pulls up for 3, had a huge second half in the victory versus B Graphics, as underneath deflected away. Eisenberg popped out of bounds, last touched by Emily Eisenberg, and possession belongs to Cedarbrook here with 14:09 remaining in the first. 4-0 lead for AMD. Marchinski had 17 points in the victory over B Graphics, as all but 3 of those, actually make it 18, all but 3 of those came in the second half. As inbound, near side, Dumbroski. She's had a couple good looks yet to hit so far. Raya Johnson, 14 points per game this season. Outside, Bella tries again. Third time, not the charm. Rebound grabbed down by Canty. So Canty in transition, quick up, left side, Settles with a tap off the glass for 2. As Kaelynn Settles gets her first bucket of the game. And quickly the lead up to 6. Dumbroski drives right side. Shot won't fall. Marchinski the rebound. Second board by Layla Marchinski. In transition, Marchinski 6-0 AMD advantage. As Eisenberg back out, Marchinski right wing. Layla surveys back up to Settles. 6-0 early on here in favor of the 4-time league champs. Eisenberg right side driving. Emily peels back out. Reset through Marchinski, now back over, it's Settles. Kaelynn, right side, Settles driving underneath, stripped away, dull possession, and arrow will favor Cedarbrook down by 6. Still just a 2-possession game here in the first. As Aubrey Graney, the 5'4 sophomore, averaging 6.83 per game, 29th in league scoring. Enters here for AMD, was not here the last game. Screen by Bittner. Dumbroski off the pick and roll. Bittner off the window and out. Rebound grab down. Raya Johnson outside. DeStefano knocks down the 3. As Torrie DeStefano makes it a 3-point game. First bucket of the game for Cedarbrook, and it's DeStefano. 79 points on the season entering for Torrie DeStefano. 6-3 lead here for Cedarbrook, or AMD, as AMD looks to increase as Marchinski can't answer. Rebound ripped down by Raya Johnson. Second board by Johnson. Skipped up ahead. Picked off by Kaelynn Settles. As Settles in transition underneath, Eisenberg surrounded. Over to Settles, and Kaelynn with a tap off the window for 2-4 for Settles. Settles averaging 13.3 per game. DeStefano outside. Stazak wide left. Rebound by Settles. First board by Kaelynn Settles. As Settles in transition, right side. Canty pulls the trigger. Got it! And Canty increases the advantage. Makayla Canty, the rising senior at Oakland Catholic, averaging 19.14 points per game this year with her first bucket of the game, that time by. Up top, Raya Johnson. Johnson drives left side of the window, taps off the glass, no, into the hands of Aubrey Graney. As Graney in transition, 11.5 on the game clock here in half number 1. Step back, triple, got it! And Graney makes it an 11-point game. As Aubrey Graney knocks down 3-ball number 3 in this opening half. DeStefano looking for another and gets another. Torrie DeStefano has all 6 for Cedarbrook. 11-11 remaining, rolling first quarter clock. Graney up top. Graney right side. Emily Eisenberg. Eisenberg penetrates, denied, but fouled on her way down the lane. Foul goes against Kaelynn Stazak. Stazak's first, team's second. Eisenberg to the line. 3 points today. 1 for 2 from the line is AMD. True on the first. 4 now for Emily Eisenberg. Riley Peterson checks in on the one side. On the other side for Coach Zanoski and Cedarbrook, he will go with, as Eisenberg knocks down the back end pancake, replace Eisenberg, but checking in will be Shorba along with Caroline Spence. 16-6 advantage in favor of the 4-time champs as DeStefano, a walking bucket here in the first. Third 3 by Torrie DeStefano. She has all 9 as Kaelynn Settles controls up top. Settles, pressure tightly. Dumbroski splits a pair, lost the handle to DeStefano. Hauls it in. Here comes Torrie in transition to Johnson. Raya Johnson finds the trailer. Pull up, can't connect. DeStefano unable to knock down her 4th. As back the other way, Graney Now Canty, Makayla Canty skips up top, settles into a 3-ball, rims around and out. Rebound off of Spence into the hands of Bella Dumbroski. Dumbroski up over the timeline. Dumbroski left side. Johnson now to DeStefano. One more Dumbroski. As Bella rolling inside underneath. Knocked away by Canty from Spence. As here comes Canty in transition. Makayla Canty skips it up top. Now Peterson. Peterson pulls for a 3. Short off the front iron into the hands of DeStefano. Quickly up to Dumbroski. Bella right to the rack. Iron around. Rattler and in. Second player on the board for Cedarbrook is the second leading scorer in the league of Bella Dumbroski. 16-11 as 3-ball falls. Aubrey Graney knocks down her second. 19-11. AMD still in front. DeStefano now drives right side up top. Dumbroski Johnson into a 3. Off the iron, rebound, a flex free, grab down underneath. Up into the free throw line goes Torrie DeStefano. 9 points today for DeStefano. And DeStefano will take the first 2 free throw attempts here for Cedarbrook. As fourth board by DeStefano, 19-11 lead for AMD. First shot by DeStefano, rattles it in. So Torrie DeStefano up to double digits here with 9:15 remaining in the opening half of play. Number 2 for DeStefano. Is it as pretty as the first? It is. 2 for 2 for Torrie DeStefano. And just like that, 11 for DeStefano. Double digits here in the opening half. Lead quickly down to 6 as Cedarbrook, much like B Graphics, on the comeback trail as DeStefano off the deflection. The only difference is Cedarbrook didn't get in big as a whole as B Graphics did on Tuesday. As they've cut the lead down to 6. Johnson the steal and the score. Raya Johnson on the board. Lead down to 4. As right side Peterson. Peterson pressured tightly back to Graney. Aubrey Graney. Right side driving. Now steps back. Graney looking to reset things up. 6 points for Graney as Cochran to Canty. Canty rolling left side. Makayla Canty curls across. Spins the 15-footer. Banks no good. Rebound ripped down there. That was by Caroline Spence, the rising freshman at Elizabeth Forward. A lot of young future warriors here in the Steel City Summer Basketball League. As there's Johnson, pocket almost picked in. Johnson gets it back. Across she goes. Dumbroski step back corner. Baseline drive for Bella Dumbroski. One more. Johnson left side 3. Can't connect. Rebound long into the hands of Chorba. As traveling violation will give possession back to AMD. A couple of good looks for Cedarbrook, but unable to cut it down to a 1-possession game. Lead sits at 4 here for AMD in the first. Over the timeline, right side, Canty, handoff, fake to Peterson. Now Canty, pressured by Johnson. Looks at Cochran inside, up top, Peterson saves on the near side. Peterson back to Graney. Graney, top of the key, guarded tightly. Dumbroski now left side to DeStefano, pressuring Cochran. Poked free. Dumbroski, DeStefano off and running with a tap off the window for 2. 13 now for Torrie DeStefano. And it's a 2-point game here in the first. 19-17. Step back 3. Graney this time no. And out of bounds the ball trickles with a 19-17 lead. Marchinski and Eisenberg back in. Peterson and Pancake out. As it's going to be Cedarbrook ball down by 2. Dumbroski up top. Bella now Spence. Spence right side looking to curl. Spence kicks it corner to DeStefano. Back up top. Dumbroski the hesitation down the lane. And Bella gets it to roll in. 4 for Dumbroski, and we're tied at 19. 6:40 remaining here in the first as the comeback to even has been complete for Cedarbrook. Now looking for their first lead. Dumbroski off the deflection. And Bella Dumbroski fouled in transition. 6.5 on the game clock here in the first. 19's on the board. Torrie DeStefano gets the breather along with Churba. Bittner and Stazak back in. 13 of the 19 belong to DeStefano. Stazak, no. Rebound, Graney. Second rebound by Graney. 6 points in this one for Graney. Underneath Cochran. Outside Settles. As Kaelynn Settles surveys off the screen. Settles now drives. Guarded by Bittner. Outside Marchinski. Foul line down the lane. Left-hand runner, no. Rebound by Caroline Spence. Second board by Spence. Now Bittner. Up over the timeline. Bittner with 6.5 on the clock. Bittner rolling right. Right side, Stazak. Stazak top, skips it left side. Raya Johnson back down low. Now curling underneath. Stazak throws it up off the stanchion, out of play. And the clock did not go for that sequence. So instead of 5:48 remaining in the first, we're still at 6.5. As underneath, DaShae Cochran. Back up top, Kaelynn Settles. Settles, right side, driving, Settles, curling underneath, fires it up in his foul with 6:13 remaining here in the first. Foul goes against Stazak. That's Kaelynn's second, team third. First shot, no for Settles. Three for 5 from the line so far is AMD. Settles through the motion, right hand shot, back iron out. Empty trip by Settles, rebound Bittner. And a chance for the first lead here for Cedarbrook as Dumbroski up top. Dumbroski pedals backwards as Bella Dumbroski off the screen. Right side, DeStefano back in after the quick break. Dumbroski back iron and out. 0 for 3 from long range, or make it 4 for Dumbroski, but DeStefano saves the possession. As Bella Dumbroski has struggled with the long range shot today, but Bittner looks for the lead. No, rebound deflects out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Cedarbrook. 5:41 remaining here in quarter number 1. 19's on the board. Inbound Dumbroski, Bella Dumbroski, screen by Spence, curls in, kick out, right side deflected, backcourt, and taken away, Eisenberg. Underneath, Cochran off the window for 2. DaShae Cochran, her first bucket from the floor, and it's 21 for AMD. Bittner inside, now working free, and a traveling violation on Spence. Marchinski up top, short on the shot, rebound by Torrie DeStefano. 6 rebounds by DeStefano. 5:20 remaining here in the first. As underneath, up and no on the shot by Johnson, but gets a trip to the line. Goes against Kaelynn Settles. 2 for 2 from the line is Cedarbrook. There's Johnson. Second one is falls as well, as timeout called by AMD. We'll take a quick timeout as well and continue here with first half action right here on MVI Live.
The best local coverage of news, sports, and more. Make sure you subscribe to the Mon Valley Independent newspaper. Both print and e-edition subscriptions are available, and you can try the e-edition free for 30 days starting today. So make sure you log on to MonValleyIndependent.com for more information. Mon Valley Independent, what happens here matters here.
.519. First half action, 21's on the board after a 2 for 2 trip from the line for Raya Johnson. So Raya Johnson able to get this game deadlocked at 21. And now AMD will look to get the lead back. Saw a big lead early on dissipate, much like in their last game. Out of the break, AMD in command. As up over the timeline, there's Aubrey Graney. Graney skips it off the hands of Johnson. Now Cedarbrook, a chance for their first lead of the game. Johnson deflected near side. Bittner saves. Johnson keeps it alive as well in the front court. Raya Johnson, left side, guarded by Eisenberg. Up top, Dumbroski. Bella Dumbroski, top of the key, rolls right. Dumbroski surrounded and traveling violation against Dumbroski. 21's on the board. 4:51 remaining here in the first. Marchinski in no hurry as Layla Marchinski up over the timeline. Marchinski, right side handoff, Graney. Aubrey Graney, now left side, Eisenberg. Eisenberg deflected away. Bittner slows it down, finds Dumbroski. As Dumbroski skips it across into the corner, extended post. Johnson can't connect. Rebound grabbed by Settles, is in transition. Kaelynn up over the divide. Kaelynn Settles looks near side, now cuts right. Eisenberg sets the unused screen. Settles, handoff, Canty, left side, three from the wing, rolls around and out. Rebound by Layla Marchinski, third board by Marchinski. As out of bounds with 4:08 remaining in the first, and a 21-all ball game. As here comes Peterson and Cochran replacing Graney and Marchinski. No Hurwitz tonight, no Giannikis. Big losses in the scoring department. Hurwitz 7.8, Giannikis 10.9 per game for AMD. As down the lane, Eisenberg knifes it in. Emily Eisenberg, 7 here in the opening half. Dumbroski for the answer, and Bella will not. Rebound grabbed down by Riley Peterson. In transition, Peterson, Canty, kick out corner, Cochran for 2. Iron unkind, rebound to DeStefano. Here comes Torrie DeStefano down the lane, right side runner, and DeStefano has 15 here in the first. Tied at 23. No triples thus far for Cedarbrook as Eisenberg misses. Rebound by Bittner. In transition, here comes Johnson. Johnson skips it. Bittner deflects off of Stazak as well. Kaelynn Stazak looks to drive, guarded by Settles. Stripped away, Canty the steal. As Makayla Canty in transition, final 3 of the first half. Peterson across and deflected out. Good help defense cutting back by Kaelynn Stazak. As Emily Chorba, the rising freshman at Norwood. Of course, Norwood, an absolute powerhouse in girls basketball for the past few seasons. As up top, Eisenberg, now right side there, Settles. Foul on the floor, called first on Raya Johnson. Canty the trigger, surveys, Canty gets it in. Eisenberg corner guarded tightly there by Chorba. As Chorba pressures Eisenberg, Emily surrounded, taken away by Torrie DeStefano. DeStefano to Dumbroski, transition, triple, misses again. A rebound grabbed down by Canty. As the takeaway, DeStefano, the steal, the score, and the first lead of the game for Cedarbrook off DeStefano's 17th of the game. 25-23, DeStefano with 17 here in the opening half. Now Canty up top, the 15-footer. No, rebound ripped back down by Chorba, her second board. In transition, Bella Dumbroski to Johnson, left side. Johnson rattles it in. 6 for Raya Johnson. 27-23, low-scoring opening half. Right now, that favors Cedarbrook with a 4-point advantage as Peterson knocked hard down to the deck by Bittner. Bittner, a rising junior at EF. Peterson, a rising 8th grader for EF, as Spence will replace Bella Dumbroski. 1:44 remaining here in the opening half of play. As corner 2, no, rebound. Johnson deflected, long and out of bounds. Graney now surveys. Graney Off the hop, inside, taken away. Another steal by DeStefano. As Torrie DeStefano across right side, Johnson inside, Spence knocked down, hard to the deck she goes. As Caroline Spence inbound to Stefano. 124 here in a 27-23 Cedarbrook lead. DeStefano, right side, looking to drive, double team up top. Spence for three, got it! Caroline Spence with the first three of the game for Cedarbrook as the freshman connects. 7-point lead for Cedarbrook. Now here's Peterson, foul line drive, right side, throws it up. Cochran can't grab the rebound. Bittner on the deck. Whistle blow, tie up force. Arrow gives it to AMD here in the final minute of play, but that means barring another whistle for a tie-up that Cedarbrook will get the ball to start the second half. As Pancake will come in, she will replace Riley Peterson. Graney the trigger. Graney surveys as Graney flips it back up top. Canty. Clock continues to tick again. Canty off the mark. Another rebound by DeStefano. As DeStefano back up, there's Chorba into a three. High archer, short rebound, watched out of bounds by Kaelynn Settles. 30-23, AMD could use a big late bucket here in the final 40 of play. As Graney, left side, going to the line. That's on DeStefano. 3 for 6 from the line so far is AMD. As up iron in. 30-24, 34 on the clock. Graney goes 2 for 2. So Aubrey Graney up to 8 on the evening. DeStefano for 3 again, rattles in another. Torrie DeStefano, give her 20 in the opening half for Torrie DeStefano. AMD's only outscored DeStefano by 5. Torrie averaging 19.75 points per game as DaShae Cochran with a tap off the window for 2. 5 for DaShae. 33-27, DeStefano, the heave can't connect at the buzzer as half has been hit. And it's a 33-27 Cedarbrook lead right here on MVI Live.
There's no better way to start your morning than with a fresh cup of coffee, and why not start with the best? 3-time Mon Valley favorite winner, His Place Coffee Community and More, located at 103rd Street in Monessen. Open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have something for everyone. From our fresh brewed coffee, refreshing cold brews, house-made lattes, fraps, and so much more. If you can't decide 4 days of the week, I'll personally be there to help you craft the perfect drink for your needs. We're also serving up house-made breakfast and lunch paninis, homemade baked goods with gluten and dairy-free options available. We are so much more than just a coffee shop, offering community outreach, including Kids Craft Day and Story Time. There's always something new brewing, and we can't wait to see you at His Place Coffee, Community, and More. It's time to customize your ride with TC Customized in Jefferson Hills. Wheels, rims, and tires, along with lift kit and lowering kits, full service auto detailing, along with custom audio systems, remote starts, alarms, custom lighting, tints, and so much more. Whatever your need is, you can completely customize your ride today at TC Customized. Call today at 412-384-5300. The best coverage of news, sports, and more. Make sure you subscribe to the Mon Valley Independent newspaper. Both print and e-edition subscriptions are available, and you can try the e-edition free for 30 days starting today. So make sure you log on to MonValleyIndependent.com for more information. Mon Valley Independent. What happens here matters here. Halfway home, and the lead belongs to Cedarbrook, 33-27.
20 and 8 for Torrie DeStefano, 6 points, 2 boards for Raya Johnson. Dumbroski's added 4 with Spence adding a 3-ball. On the other side, spread out scoring, 8 for Graney, 7 for Eisenberg, 4 for Settles, and 5 for Cochran, while Makayla Canty has added in 3 of her own. And you can tell this is a team definitely missing the offense of Juliana Giannikis in this game, averaging 10.9 points per game this season. Also, Emily Horitz just under 8 points per game, but Canty, who's averaging 19 points per contest this season, and Settles, who's averaging 13, both with 3 and 4 respectively. So 2 players that got to step it up as we head here into half number 2 on MVI Live's coverage of the Steel City Summer Basketball League. The final game of the regular season in a possible semifinal preview here on the network, with AMD, the number 1 seed, trailing Cedarbrook, who will most likely be the number 4 seed inside the postseason, as we get set for half number 2 right here on MVI Live, as it's Cedarbrook, it's AMD, it's 33-27, and it should be Cedarbrook basketball to start, and will indeed be that. 33-27, Cedarbrook leads with the basketball. Johnson trigger, far side, Johnson running out of real estate, fires one in, half 2 underway. Johnson throws it, nobody home, the quick steal by Emily Eisenberg. And third time today, clock not just doing its job. (33-27). Cedarbrook leading with the ball after back-to-back empty possessions. Dumbroski, cold from long range to start, finds Bittner, no rebound, out of bounds. Last touch by the neck of Bella Dumbroski, and that will send possession back the other way for AMD Industries. Quick inbound, Emily Eisenberg. Eisenberg to Settles. Kaelynn Settles, left side, Settles. Now Eisenberg, Emily to Marchinski, back inside, Settles off the window and out. DeStefano has it ripped away. Cochran gets to the line. 1 for 2 today is DaShae Cochran. 5 for 8 in the opening half was AMD, is DaShae Cochran. Iron and out for DaShae. (15-18), half number 2. Cochran the second one. It is true. So DaShae Cochran gets the first point of half number 2. Her 6th of the game for DaShae Cochran. 33-28, but there's an easy 2. Raya Johnson breaks through. 8 for Raya Johnson. 35-28, left side. Rebound grabbed down by DeStefano. 1 board away from a DeStefano double-double. As Dumbroski to increase the advantage, no. Gets the rebound off the miss, but turns it over. Back the other way. Here comes Eisenberg, and DeStefano breaking through the moving screen of Eisenberg, draws the foul as team first this half. As DeStefano right to the rack and right to the free throw line. Torrie DeStefano 2 for 2 from the stripe here today. 4 for 4 is Cedarbrook thus far. Torrie averaging 19.75 per game in her 4 games this year. Has 21 here tonight. (22 for Torrie, as she's now 4 for 4 from the line. DeStefano, 22 points, 9 rebounds, is an easy 2 for Aubrey Graney at the other end. Graney double digits, first AMD player to hit double digits. Lead down to 7, 14.5 on the clock. Dumbroski. Hand off to DeStefano. DeStefano looks to drive on Graney. Step back kick. There's Johnson. DeStefano. Stazak from the corner connects. And it's a 10-point Cedarbrook lead. Kaelynn Stazak. Her first bucket of the game's a triple. At the other end, looking to penetrate in. DaShae Cochran up to 8. As Cochran nearing that season average early on here in the second half. DeStefano. Now Dumbroski picked off by DaShae to Canty off the window. And Makayla Canty, her second bucket of the game. She has 5. From 10 to 6, the lead falls. Pick and roll. Bittner up, and Bittner to the free throw line. Graney gets the personal. Bittner to the line. First trip for Bittner to the charity stripe. First miss for Cedarbrook from the line, now 6 for 7. As Bittner knocks down the second, so McKenna Bittner goes 1 for 2. First point of the game for Bittner. Just one miss all evening long as Graney will head back to the line on the other end. 6 for 10 so far is AMD, and Aubrey Graney is 2 for 2 in her lone attempt from the line. With 10 points today, Iron says no to number 11. 41-34. Graney looking to get that one right back. She will. So Aubrey Graney connects on the back end. And back the other way we shall go with Bella Dumbroski. Up top, Bella Dumbroski surveys DeStefano up there with her at the top of the arc. Outside the perimeter, now Dumbroski kicks across. Johnson, good hustle play over to Stazak. Chucks up a triple into the hands of Canty. As Canty, Eisenberg, Marchinski up for 3, round and out. Rebound deflected right to the hands of Cochran. Marchinski, who's averaging double digits per game, scoreless here in this one. Had a big second half on Tuesday, needs another big second half here. As Johnson off the miss, Raya to Torrie. DeStefano guarded by Marchinski. Johnson cutting in, left hand, and the teardrop falls for 2 for Johnson. She has 10. As 30 seconds will be the break here called by Coach Zanoski. As Bobby Zanoski got the number 1 seed on the ropes. Lead was as large as 10 for Cedarbrook in this game. Sits at 8 right now thanks to DeStefano's 22. Johnson has 10. (43-35) Cedarbrook on top of AMD. 12-26, 12 just around remaining here in this one. So AMD out of the break gets possession, down 43-35. Cedarbrook looking for their 4th win of the year as Canty short on the shot. Rebound grabbed down by DeStefano. It's a double-double for Torrie DeStefano here with plenty of time to work as Settles with the deflection and a foul in transition. Looks like McKenna Bittner the guilty party here. Bittner and Stazak to the bench for Spence and Chorba. Left side, Cochran, DaShae. Curling, right side, Cochran stopped up. Underneath, right side, still loose, surrounded, Graney. And timeout now on the near side, staving possession for AMD.
30-second timeout, blue. So now what is it on?
10 for Cedarbrook this half from 33 to 43. Just 8 points on the other side for AMD. So Cedarbrook has extended their advantage after a sluggish start here for AMD, Cedarbrook. Torrie DeStefano has willed them back to a big advantage here in this ball game, as Torrie DeStefano a game-high 22 points. Up over 100 on the season for DeStefano. 101 to be exact for Torrie DeStefano here this summer in just 4.5 games. So AMD out of the break with the ball, looking to get back on the board. Canty too far underneath. Spence the turnover, over to Canty, no. Rebound by Dumbroski. Spence stops up, trailer Chorba. Chorba on the left side. Emily Chorba rolling right, has Dumbroski double teamed. Now underneath, picked off Eisenberg. Canty running the floor. Canty drives in, off the window for two. 7 for Makayla Canty. And it's 43-37 AMD. Trying to come back, and now the steal. Here's Eisenberg. Left side, Graney, the hesitation roll. Eisenberg up top. Emily. Deep two, the mid-range will not fall. Out of bounds it goes. 43-37. AMD full court press here. And just like that, immediately forces the cough up. The giveaway, Canty now to Cochran underneath, and a trip to the charity stripe. Spence gets the personal. DaShae Cochran. 50% from the line today, 2 for 4. 6 for 12 is AMD. 9 now for DaShae Cochran. Number 2, it's true. So 2 for 2 in double digits for DaShae. As AMD stays in the press, down by 4. And Settles, the deflection, still loose. Eisenberg can't corral DeStefano. Johnson, side step 3. Rebound. Dumbroski deflects right to Spence. No. Now Chorba. Chorba travels on her way to the cylinder. Inbound, Aubrey Graney as Graney. Over the timeline, 43-39. Cedarbrook in a bit of a cold spell since that AMD timeout. As Canty, right side, got it! And just like that, the lead to 1. 10 for Canty. It's been a game of momentum, and right now the pendulum swinging in the favor of the blue and black of AMD. Inbound there, Settles. Kaelynn for the lead. Can't connect. Rebound underneath. DeStefano, no buckets from the floor here this half through 6 minutes of play. As Graney, no. Rebound grabbed by Chorba. Chorba up top, guarded by Canty. DeStefano will go take over. DeStefano stripped away. Eisenberg the takeaway. She's led the defensive charge here for AMD. As underneath, DaShae rims it out. Rebound loose underneath. 2-on-1, Dumbroski to Johnson to end the stretch. It was a 7-0 run for AMD. Left side, Johnson cutting in. Spence, lefty, no. Chorba, no. Rebound, Dumbroski to the line.
Are you guys tired? Who needs a break? No one's tired? Then why are we going after the ball?
First shot, Dumbroski gets to go. 5 for Bella. 8 for 9. Cedarbrook from the line here in this one. 1 for 2 for Dumbroski. Rebound by DaShae Cochran. 3 boards for DaShae all in this second half. Up top, Graney. 46-42. They're in the halfway point of half number 2. Underneath, tic-tac-toe. DaShae Cochran up to 12. Back-to-back 12-point performances for Cochran. It's a 2-point game. Ball worked inside. Bittner, left-hand roller, no. Rebound by Emily Eisenberg. As Johnson, the takeaway at the other end, hurries it along. Dumbroski, 1-on-2, right to the rack and back to the free throw line goes Bella Dumbroski. Bella 1 for 2 from the stripe. 8 for 10. So far in this one is Cedarbrook. First one falls for Dumbroski. 2 for 2, 7 for Dumbroski, 10 for 12 from the line as AMD. Or excuse me, Cedarbrook as Graney deflected. DeStefano, the active hands. DeStefano's been quiet on the score sheet this half, but picks up the deflection, almost an assist at the other end. And Dumbroski knocked down to the deck again.
Come on, Blue, let's go.
47-44, 8 on the clock. Johnson the trigger, Raya Johnson. Johnson in DeStefano. From the corner, Torrie underneath. Johnson left hand ironing out. Rebound this time by Kaelynn Settles. Third board for Settles. Graney across. Cochran up into the free throw line. DaShae will go. Shots 15 and 16 coming for AMD. Cochran's made her last 2. 4 for 6 is DaShae. 13 points now for Cochran over her season average of 11.4. 8 points this half for Cochran. Four in a row for DaShae Cochran. From the free throw line, lead down to 2. 48-46, 7.5 on the clock. DeStefano outside. Dumbroski drives. Bella left side, rolls around and in. 50 for Cedarbrook. Bella Dumbroski up to 9. 5 this half for Dumbroski as DeStefano off the steal. Too far ahead, looking to spring Stazak. Four-point lead here for Cedarbrook over AMD. Up top, there's Eisenberg. Outside DaShae now taking over. As trying to work one up to the window was Kaelynn Settles. And Settles earns another trip to the free throw line, where she's 0 for 2 today. 17 and 18 attempts from the line, 10 makes already. Iron around and out, so an 0 for 3 start from the free throw line for Kaelynn Settles. Six for 9 this half is AMD. Went 5 for 8 in the first half as Settles knocks down the back end. 5 points for Kaelynn Settles. So Cedarbrook shooting the rest of the way.
Let's go. We got to play good defense.
Eisenberg gets her third. And Torrie DeStefano, 22 points, just 2 points this half, both from the free throw line. Iron and out. First miss by DeStefano as Settles to the window for 2, 7 for Settles. It's a 1-point game as DeStefano missed her first attempt, doesn't get another as Torrie underneath. Johnson left hand layup for 2. 14 for Raya Johnson, knocking to her season average as DaShae left alone for an easy answer. 16 for Cochran. An 11-point half for Cochran. Canty to Settles, and the lead belongs to AMD. 53-52, AMD out in front. Settles and Cochran connecting on back-to-back trips, and just like that, it's a 53-52 advantage. 6:25 remaining here in half number 2. And DeStefano held in check here this half, just 2 points. Johnson has 6. Johnson has 8. Dumbroski has 5. On the other side, DaShae with 11 this half, 16 in the game. 5-point half so far for Settles. And Makayla Canty's added in 7 this half, 10 in the game. So AMD's offense has come alive here in half number 2. They've outscored Cedarbrook by 7 here in the second half. Running out of time, just connects to get it in to Bittner. As Raya Johnson back the other way. Johnson driving, left side, Johnson. DeStefano, back to Johnson, left alone off the bottom of the rim and out of bounds. As left side, Marchinsky finally on the board. Layla Marchinsky, her first bucket of the game. And the lead sits at 4 for AMD, Layla Marchinsky. Johnson, left side. One and one for Stazak. Kaelynn has 4. Second one, 2 for 2. Stazak knocks them both down. So 5 for Kaelynn Stazak all in this second half. As Canty, no, rebound off DeStefano and a foul. So 1 and 1. So 1 and 1 for Torrie DeStefano. Iron around and in, 1-point game. $23 now for Torrie. Make it 24, 2 for 2 for Torrie DeStefano. As underneath Eisenberg, no rebound, out of bounds, and it stays with AMD. Marchinski underneath, finds a cutting, settles, and Kaelynn to 11. Raya Johnson. Up to Bittner. Now Bittner. Left side. Stazak lost the possession and travels. Marchinski on the deck. Eisenberg. Emily up top. Kaelynn pulls the trigger iron and out. Rebound grabbed down by Bella Dumbroski. 4 boards this half for Dumbroski. 58-56, AMD leading here in the final 4.5. Dumbroski up top now to DeStefano. Just 4 points this half for DeStefano, all from the free throw line. Pick and roll. Johnson left hand, no. Dumbroski the follow, yes. And we're tied at 58. 11 for Dumbroski. As underneath the other side, Kaelynn Settles. Give her 13. A 9-point half or make it. Yeah, 9-point half for Settles is at the other end. Bella Dumbroski, 2 more. 13 for Dumbroski. She has 9 this half as well. 60-60. And a 3 falls. Other end, Bittner, no. Canty looks for 2, no. Rebound, Bittner. 13 for Canty with 3 threes in the game. Stazak slows up, trailer to DeStefano. Left alone, Dumbroski breaks through. Bella Dumbroski ties us at 63. 16 for Dumbroski, 12 this half. First 3 for Dumbroski. Double-double for DeStefano in this one. Canty, 10-point half. A lot of big second halves offensively on both sides. Johnson back down, Settles up and in. Kaelynn to 15. As Dumbroski pushing it right to the rack, gets the roll. Dumbroski adds 2 more. 18 for Bella Dumbroski. As there's Eisenberg, right side, deflected straight up. Canty to Settles, Kaelynn, kick out, Eisenberg for the lead. Rebound by Dumbroski. 8 boards for Dumbroski. Stazak as Bella goes that way. 65-65, 2 on the clock. There goes Dumbroski, kick out right side, Bittner driving. Bittner surrounded. Timeout called by Cedarbrook, the penultimate of the game. So we'll take a timeout as they take one as well. 65's on the board. It will be a sprint to the finish when we come back right here on MVI Live. 65-65, Cedarbrook and AMD. Final game of the regular season.
There's no better way to start your morning than with a fresh cup of coffee, and why not start with the best? 3-time Mon Valley favorite winner, His Place Coffee Community and More, located at 103rd Street in Menneson. Open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have something for everyone. From our fresh brewed coffee, refreshing cold brews, house-made lattes, fraps, and so much more. If you can't decide 4 days of the week, I'll personally be there to help you craft the perfect drink for your needs. We're also serving up house-made breakfast and lunch paninis, homemade baked goods with gluten and dairy-free options available. We are so much more than just a coffee shop, offering community outreach, including Kids Craft Day and Story Time. There's always something new brewing, and we can't wait to see you at His Place Coffee, Community, and More.
Dumbroski up top. Taken away. Back the other way. Settles off the steal. Kaelynn. Around there's Canty. Out into the bench it goes. 1:30 remaining here in the half. Inbound to DeStefano. .65's on the board. DeStefano. Now Johnson. Johnson has 8 this half, 14 in the game. Deflection and backcourt violation. DeStefano forced across with 1:08. Graney underneath DaShae for 18. And it's a 2-point AMD lead, 54 on the clock. .45 seconds remaining, AMD leads it. Canty rolling, sees the lane. Canty, you wonder how long before maybe Cedarbrook plays the foul game. Hearing it from the bench, DeStefano, the deflection, and thrown away. As DeStefano fouls Eisenberg, probably the one girl on the team out of anyone out there you don't want to foul when it comes to free throw shooting would be Eisenberg. Probably will make a liar out of me. Eisenberg will indeed make a liar out of me, but rebound and a timeout called. And Cedarbrook had the deflection, they had the takeaway, but hurried it along, down by 2, turned it back over. And Eisenberg, normally a lights-out free throw shooter, gave life to Cedarbrook, but a massive rebound by AMD. 2-point lead with the basketball. AMD has outscored Cedarbrook by 8 here in this second half. 32-40, your second half scoring. .14 seconds remaining. Question is, who do you put the ball in the hands of? Normally, again, do you go back to Eisenberg? Normally so good. They will go to Canty, as Canty going to be fouled by Bittner with 11 on the clock. Still 1-1. First trip to the line for Canty. Canty, clutch. Three-point game. Canty to make it a 2-possession affair, barring a 4-point play. She will. 2 for 2. Makayla Canty. 15 for Canty, knocking them down in the clutch. DeStefano pulls the trigger, bank, no, rebound, up, Bittner, iron, out, and that will do it. Comeback complete. A 42-point second half by AMD. A 10-point second half scoring advantage. 69-65 in the final game of the regular season. Playoffs next week. In a losing effort, 24 by DeStefano, a double-double. 18 by Dumbroski, 14 by Johnson, with 5 by Stazak and 1 by Bittner. In the winning effort on the other side, it was an 18-point performance for DaShae Cochran, 15 for Settles and Canty, 11 for Graney, and 3 for Marchinsky. Cedarbrook led 33-27 at the half, but was outscored 42-32 in half number 2. And they fall tonight 69-65. Playoff set. We'll see you next week for them, as it will be Howard Hanna Marie Slagus versus Trailside, Cedarbrook versus Moflo. The highest remaining seed will take on B Graphics. The lowest remaining seed from those winners will take on AMD. So AMD and B Graphics, they get the bye on Tuesday. They'll play Thursday. Pigtail quarterfinal games on Tuesday. We'll see you there for both right here on your home for Mon Valley Athletics. MV, have a great rest of your evening, everybody.
This has been a presentation of Lions Heart Media on MVI Live.